How the do you start a business? That's the question that I want to be answering, and I think that making this content and making these videos on it will be able to just track my journey as I try to figure out how to do this. And I want to be able to create a journey that other people can follow, that looking back and maybe growing with me can see that they're not alone and that we're just trying to make shit happen together, just trying to figure it out as we go. And I definitely don't know what I'm doing in the business space. About a year ago now, I identified a gap in the market in the field that I'm in, which is the health space. I have the technical background behind it. I have like the science background. It's what I went to school for. I do it practically like in my daily life, so I understand it. But it's really the business stuff that I just don't know. So I understand how to do it myself. I just don't know like how to get other people to do it, aka just doing business. So that's not something I have any background in, and that's kind of what I just want to see what I can come up with as we go and sort of track that journey along the way. And so my plan for this is just to have little clips and just kind of track where my head's at along the course of however long these videos last. I'm hoping for years and years and years, and create a nice little journey and a nice little community of this channel that would be able to like grow together. So we're all like starting from the very beginning, not knowing what to do, and then kind of just figuring it out along the way, maybe even helping each other, and yeah, just kind of growing with each other. So I figured by making these videos I can also find people that are with me, maybe ahead, maybe thinking about it, that we can all just kind of bounce ideas off each other and sort of just track each other's progress and keep it going and just kind of see where the journey takes us. So I mentioned about a year ago that I found a gap in the market, I guess you could say, which basically just means that my level of education mixed with what I know practically, I found out that a lot of people didn't have the combination of these two. The people were either highly educated but not practically aware, like physically fit enough to like, I guess, put it into action and see. It was mostly theory stuff. And then all the people that I knew that were very practical and were doing it themselves, they lacked the education behind it. And so it was a lot of like basic information, or typically like bro science, you can call it. And so I figured with my knowledge and the practicality behind it, I could be able to provide value to other people. And I mean, I've gotten this feedback from a bunch of my friends and a bunch of people that I've just interacted with personally that always kind of ask me for help and some tips and tricks and things like that. And I figured, well, I can, if I'm doing this for my friends, I'm sure other people have the same questions that I don't know, that are strangers. And so I definitely have some ideas that I definitely want to help people with. It's just, I don't know how to do that, how to run that, how to get people, how to track their progress, things like that. So I know how to do it for myself, and I figure I would just like do that process with other people. But I don't know, we'll see. So the business idea that I'm running, and I figure this is not a sales pitch at all by any means. I just want to explain like what I'm doing so people can at least understand if anybody's even watching this. But it is using your genetics to figure out what is the healthiest course of option for you to take in your lives, and it will determine how you eat, how you function, what kind of vitamins you're missing, and basically getting people to their best possible health while minimizing a bunch of genetic risks and a bunch of disease risks as well, like heart disease, insulin resistant, any sort of metabolic condition, which basically means like diabetes, atherosclerosis, high cholesterol, things that involve non-communicable diseases, which is like things that aren't viruses that can't be passed. It's just like within you, like when you do damage to your body. I know a lot of people in my family have a long history of heart attacks, diabetes. My entire dad's side of the family had passed away before 60, excluding my father. He's still alive, so that's good. I was like, okay, well, there's a bunch that I'm worried personally, so I want to figure out what I can do to counteract that. And a lot of that is typically your normal advice, which is just like eat right and, you know, move more, exercise, things like that. But there has to be a little bit more to it. And what does that even mean? Like, what does eating right mean? It's like, yeah, it doesn't mean junk, but you can go online, and when I first started out, lifting and tracking my food and things like that, I found so many different conflicting answers. I saw the keto diet, I saw vegan, I saw carnivore, high carb, low carb, and it's like no one really knows. There is no like one answer. And then so throughout the past few years that I've been doing this, I was trying to find the answer. And what I realized is that there is no the answer. It is doing the answer that is best for you. And what I realized is the only difference between me and somebody else, we're both humans, and the only difference is that we're just our own two people, and what makes us our own two people is our genetics. And so the same way we're still humans on the outside and on the inside, obviously, but like the way we look human wise, like extremities and face and all that, even though we're the same in that regard, we're also all different. So like I have different eye colors, hair colors, and then what I realize is that the inside of our bodies must be the same, because our genetics code for everything. It codes for your outside and also your inside. And so just an extension of that, all of our livers are going to be different, and the liver is what processes all the food that we eat and a bunch of metabolism. It's like the metabolic control center, I guess you can call it. We're all going to have different levels of insulin, which would impact our carb intake, and a bunch of cholesterol parameters that are all different from baseline. And I think genetics has a lot to do with all of this, because we're all a little bit different. And so what I want to figure out is, I don't want to do the typical personal fitness, personal trainer route, which is just, the trainer figures out what works for them, and then they say, okay, well, this is what works for me. I'm just going to write up a plan of like everything I did, and then just mass market that to people. And it's like, from a monetarily standpoint, I guess that makes sense, because it's like, it's one-time work for a bunch of like further money. Like, you just need to do a lot of work for like one period of time, like creating the plan, maybe the food plan, whatever it is, and then just giving it to everybody. But this is why I think everybody, quote unquote, doesn't have that same success, and it only works for the people that it works for. And so, especially in like, let's just say the keto diet, and I'm not hating on any keto diet or anything, but the keto diet itself, the community kind of says, if it doesn't work for you, then you must have done it wrong. And it's like, no, that's just not the case. The keto diet's going to work for whoever's best fit to do the keto diet. And so you can either do it by trial and error, which takes like years and years and a bunch of discipline, and which is all good things. But I think that having your genetics screened from baseline can really help with that at the forefront, as opposed to wasting years of trial and error and the hardships. And I think we lose a lot of people in the process of like their accountability, because it didn't work the first time or the second time or the third time in their weight loss journeys, and they kind of just lose hope, and they say, well, it's just not for me. I'll just not be at optimal health. And then that has a whole string of effects later on, maybe with their kids, whatever it is, dying, death, whatever. And so in terms of general health, not even just fitness, I think that genetics plays a huge role in how we all function and who we are. And so I think that looking at that is an option that everybody should be taking. It's something that is only being come to the market, or at least being available to the general public, for a few years now, and it's still underground. And it's my theory that it should be getting more widespread within the next few years. And that's why I definitely believe business-wise that I'm in a decent field, a field that is looking to grow, and I'm looking to grow with it. I just want to kind of figure out what are the steps that I need to take to actually make this valuable product and a valuable process and system that people can benefit from, because that's the main goal. I just want to provide value to people. I understand the science behind it and things like that, but I also recognize that the people that I'll be helping don't understand that. And so I have to bridge that gap between knowing what to do and then showing them how to do it. And that's just the product aspect of it and the system aspect behind it. It's like, how do I get them excited? How do I keep them accountable? And then basic like business administrative stuff, like how do I get payment processors and like manufacturers and this and that. So that's kind of the stuff that I definitely want to learn. And obviously I expect to like fail plenty of times, but I think that it's something that I think it would be valuable. I think if I didn't do it, and I like to think in the alternative, like a lot of people like to think, well, why me, or like, why am I doing this? And I kind of like to think the opposite. I like to think, why not? And it's like, if I'm not gonna do this, I think a lot of people are gonna be misled, and they're gonna be disappointed, as they always have in their health journeys, and regaining their health. And I think that a lot of people can benefit from the value that I hope to provide through genetics and in health in general, diagnostic reports, things like that, and looking at things that people don't normally look at that would be able to determine what's best for them. And I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I'm just trying to find a new way to measure what's already out there. And so the same way like blood work's a diagnostic that would help people like understand what's going on in their body, I think genetics is the same way. And so yeah, that's kind of what I'm just hoping to provide to people. They can understand their bodies more, and then also give them the tools that they can take control of their lives and be healthy for the people around them. As an extension to that too, I know this is like very forward thinking and whatnot, but it's a pretty known theory, I guess, at this point in the science community, that cancer is largely a genetic disease. And there is some controversy behind that with like the metabolic theory and epigenetics and things like that, but it's largely a genetic disease. It's when our own cells have mutations in our DNA or variants in our DNA that cause it to grow and proliferate at an extended amount. And so it's essentially, with this, I hope to do a bunch of my own research and provide some value to people that maybe that have family members that have cancer, or even prevent them from having cancer, or even help them get over cancer, whatever it might be. So that's definitely in the future. But yeah, those are some of the ideas right now, and I'm just kind of try to figure out how to provide that value to people, and hopefully people are interested in it. And yeah, we'll see. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you have made it this far, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It'll really help the channel grow and support me. And comment what you guys are interested in seeing me do on a day-to-day, because I legitimately don't know like what to film for you guys, what you guys are interested in, what you guys want to see. If you guys want to know more about the science, more about business stuff that I'm figuring out, or what I'm doing to try to figure stuff out as I go, yeah, feel free to comment below and I'll interact with you guys. I really just want to build a community here, so I definitely want to interact with y'all. Subscribe, comment below, like the stuff, dislike it if you don't like it, whatever, you know, but like at least just interact so I can get a better feel of like what I should do for you guys, what we can do together, and yeah, kind of just continue to grow together. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the official first episode of like tracking what I do in the day-to-day. This is kind of just like the introductory, but yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.